Why do city streets get torn up, fixed, and then torn up all over again? Why does the best smartphone in the world start feeling old after just 2 or 3 years? There is a famous story about a light bulb in Livermore, California, that was switched on in 1901 and is still said to be burning today, while the company that made it disappeared decades ago. They never expected that making a bulb too durable could destroy the business behind it. The biggest scam in the world is the merchant's replacement cycle mindset. People who understand how merchants think know this. The more perfect a product is, the deeper the hole you dig for yourself. Now let me tell you a story, so you can see how sharp real business people are when it comes to making money. Let's say you sell jalapenos at a farmer's market. A customer walks up and asks, "Are these peppers spicy?" If you say yes, but that customer actually wants mild peppers, you probably just lost the sale. So how do you break through that situation? At a farmer's market in Austin, Texas, there was a pepper seller. Someone once suggested that he split the peppers into 2 piles, spicy on one side and mild on the other, so customers could choose more easily. But the merchant shook his head and refused. Soon a customer walked up to buy peppers, and just like most customers, he asked, "Are these peppers spicy?" The merchant told him, "The darker ones are spicy, the lighter ones are mild." The customer heard that, picked out the darker peppers, and left the lighter ones behind. Later, another customer came over and asked which peppers were hotter. The merchant said, "The longer ones are hotter, the shorter ones are mild." So that customer picked out a bunch of long peppers and left the shorter ones behind. After a while, another customer came by. This time the merchant said, "The firm-skinned ones are hotter, the softer ones are mild." In reality, because the sun had been hitting them, some peppers had softened a little, and those less fresh peppers were harder to sell. In the end, the merchant sold every single pepper. In Make More Money, there is a line that says, "Real masters do not always solve the problem directly. They raise the level of the game, and the problem disappears on its own." In 2011, there was a merchant in Orlando who sold fish tanks. Because the market was slow, his business was terrible. So he thought for a while, and found an old man who sold small goldfish. He bought 600 goldfish at a low price. The old man was happy, and personally delivered them the next day. But then the merchant took him to a private pond at a weekend community fair and said, "Release all 600 goldfish into this pond." The old man did not understand at all. The merchant said, "Just release them. I will pay you every dollar I owe you." The news quickly spread through the whole neighborhood. Nearby families rushed over, and kids started trying to catch the little goldfish. The people who caught goldfish happily went to buy fish tanks. Even the people who had not caught any fish rushed to buy fish tanks too, because they wanted to be ready when they caught one. Even though the merchant kept raising the price, the fish tanks still sold out fast, and he made a huge profit. Look at this. Put a whole watermelon on a table for $8, and nobody looks at it. But if a marketer cuts it in half, sticks a plastic spoon on top, and sells half a watermelon for $8, it sells out. It is not because the spoon is so attractive. It is because with the spoon, people can eat that watermelon anywhere. Make More Money says this. Most people stay poor because they follow the rules their whole lives. No matter how hard you work or save, your expenses keep going up. One unexpected crisis is all it takes to go broke. That's why I've trained myself to think like the rich. You don't get rich from one single job. What poor people lack isn't money, it's the truths the rich never share openly. Put money and a bone in front of a dog, and it will always pick the bone. It doesn't know money can buy far more bones.